Hey, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you guys to Conversations with the McQueens this Monday evening. Um, this evening, we got a special request to speak on a specific topic. It's going to be a pretty interesting topic, actually, guys. Um, so, let me just in case we have some newcomers. My name is Q, Quentin, aka Q, and this is my wife, Sonia Letter.
AKA Sonya.
All right. So yeah, this evening we're gonna cover a specific topic that one of our viewers asked us to cover, and that topic is. Go ahead, Miss Sonia.
I would like to hear your take on, can a couple spend too much time together? And how do you let your partner know you need some time alone without offending them?
That's a very interesting question.
It's a great question.
Is that right? Somebody sound like they can relate. Yeah. So, is there a such thing? Is there a such thing in a relationship as being as spending too much time together or being around each other too much? Um, you know, like I said, that's very interesting. Very interesting. That viewer raised a very interesting topic. Um, normally I start, but I'm gonna put my wife on the spot. So I'm gonna put Sonya on the spot this evening and see how she feels about the topic, and then I'll elaborate. Yeah, after her, because I'm sure she have her viewpoints, and I definitely have mine. So, so Miss Sonya, can you?
Yes. Yes. Oh, ask your question. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, so when you're not with me, Miss Sonya, with your boyfriend, can you spend too much time?
With my boyfriend or you? You, yes. Boyfriend, never. No, I honestly feel as though a couple can spend too much time together. They can make their life 100% about that other person. They have no outside life of their own. They don't hang with any friends. They don't really do anything with family. Everything is about that partner, everything. So they lose their identity. Um, and my opinion, it's just a terrible thing to do to lose your opinion, to lose your identity. And I don't mean, I want to disappear for a few days. I just mean you wake up with that person. Let's say we own a business together. I mean,
Okay.
you have your own business, I have mine, but let's say we have one together.
Okay.
We wake up together, we get dressed, we ride to work together, we work all day together, we come home together, we eat dinner together, we go to sleep, we start over. On the weekends, we get up, we go to the gym together, we go to church together, we come home and we sit around together, we watch TV, and it's 7 days a week.
Okay.
I honestly feel as though people lose their identity when they are stuck in a rut like that.
Mm. Okay. So when you say a person lose their identity, you're saying what they become just totally consumed with the other person and they're not themselves. Exactly what do you mean when you say they lose their identity?
No, let's say, and this is a great example,
Okay.
and it's almost a real example. So
Okay.
before I met you, I had a few friends, right?
Okay.
And you did a lot with your family. or you did things, and then we get together.
Mm-hmm.
Now this didn't happen, but the first part did.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden you don't spend any quality time with your family anymore, right? Unless they come over here and they're with us, but no time alone. You don't go visit this cousin anymore and sit and chop it up with him. And all my friends, I could text with them, but anytime they offer for me to come do something, no, I'm with Q, I'm with Q. Now, we do this and we do this, and months go by or years go by, and then something happens, we divorce, or one of us passes away. All of my time and my commitment and anything free I did was with you. So I've lost that part of my identity to where I could rub elbows with my friends and have my friends to lean on because I pretty much shut the door on them. Or if it was vice versa, you pretty much, let your family know without saying the words, I'm spending all my time with my wife. So I really don't have much time for you. So it's just about me and Sonia. It's not about me, Sonia, and auntie and uncle and cousins. It's just us two. I think when you do things like that, you lose a part of your identity. You, unless you were a hermit and you stayed in the house 24/7 before you met that partner, you're losing a part of yourself. Even though that's deeper than the question was. The question was, can you spend too much time with your significant other? And I say yes. Who is the author of what is too much time is based on the individual. Because for me, too much time could be more than an hour and a half. For you, too much time could be 7 consecutive days you need to get away for a moment. So it depends on the person as well as to what too much time is. But I do feel as though you could spend too much time with any individual. It's possible in any kind of relationship.
Okay. Okay. Um, well, my opinion on the matter is this. Um, I don't think a person can lose their identity unless two things happen. Unless the other individual is controlling and they want to control that individual to the point where they trying on purpose to keep them away from family and friends, or uh, the, the two people make a conscious choice to be around each other like that and keep their family and friends at bay or whatever. So I don't think being around, because you still, if uh, the other partner is not controlling, you still have the freedom of spending time with your family and friends. So to me, that would just be a choice for you not to do that. That'll just be a conscious choice on your behalf. So, that part, I think that's pretty much how that works as far as that is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as like you said, one thing I definitely agree with you on is it's uh, it's all in perspective of the individuals as to what is too much time, and how individual think of what is too much time. Um, I think that when you kind of when you get into a routine, and we tend to do that, especially when you've been in a relationship for a long time, been married for years. You start to get into habit, into routine. And what end up happening is when you get into a daily ritual routine, you get bored. We tend to get bored because we're doing the same thing over and over and over. Life becomes repetitive. And when life becomes repetitive and we're doing the same thing over and over, now you cutting your eye at your partner like, man, we just do the same thing every day, day in, day out. No excitement, no this, no that. And we see that as like, and I think we turn that into, man, we spending too much time together. It's just, you know, I need to get out and do something, or you need to get out and do something, or whatever. I need some time alone. Um, and my view is this, especially if you truly, truly love a person, if you truly love an individual. Um, and it's, real funny that, like I say, this topic came up because a couple weeks ago, I asked my wife, we were watching a show about these people being stranded on an island. So so I asked my wife, I said, baby, if we were stranded, I say, no, if we could afford to buy our own island and live on our own island and had everything accessible to us, everything that you could imagine was accessible to us, but it was just me and you there, and if we needed to visit the kids or visit family or visit friends, we could easily, take a boat or whatever to the mainland and go see them or whatever. But other than that, me and you was just on this island. I said, would you be able to live on this island, just you and me? And without hesitation, my wife said, "Oh no, no, I need to interact with other people. I need to be around other people. No, I couldn't do that." And I was a little disappointed because I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't say this to her. Now I'm sharing this with you guys, so this is between us. So don't tell her. This is between us now. But that's how she feels. Um, but I don't feel that way. You know what I'm saying? I love my wife so much that I don't mind being around her day in, day out, all day long. Uh, do we get on each other's nerves? Of course. Yes, we do. Yeah. Specifically, do she get on my nerves? Yes, she do. But that doesn't supersede the love that I have for her. So, I wouldn't mind being on a deserted island with my wife day in, day out. Um, so and see, like, I don't, and I would know how to balance going, like I told it, she going to visit family, going to visit friends, the kids, stuff like that or whatever. But I just enjoy being around my wife. You know what I'm saying? That's enjoyment for me because the way I see it, I've never the way I feel about my wife, I've never felt like that before. Ever about anyone. So this is the first time that a woman could make me feel the way that my wife feel. And before in my past relationships, I would definitely get tired of an individual. Matter of fact, me and my wife shared that sentiment with each other. That even before we met each other, she would get tired of an individual for whatever reason, and I felt the same way. If I was dating somebody or whatever, they could do the slightest thing or whatever, and I would get it wasn't nothing for me to get tired of them. But
But don't forget, he also could waste time with them for years.
oh yeah,
Tired of them or not,
yeah,
I couldn't
you
do
know.
that.
But so I just think it's all in the individual, and a marriage or relationship definitely is what you make it. Because like my wife, she's very outgoing. And when I say outgoing, she be wanting to go dancing. She say that all the time. Man, I want to go out dancing. Now dancing is not my thing. And all you're gonna get out of me is a two step. One, two. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Um, but And she used to share that with me all the time. I can't ever remember us actually going out dancing, which it's not really too many places that we could
Right.
go, but
Right.
but but of course, we would go to a lot of family gatherings and stuff like that, and the music play. I cut a little rug. I do a little something, something, you know. But um, but I would often tell my wife, baby, and she noticed whatever. Even though dancing is not my thing, but if that's what she want to do, I'll be like, baby, find a place and we'll go. You know what I'm saying? Find a place. We'll go. I think she's just like wait on me to find a place or whatever, but it's not my thing, so I'm not gonna find a place. So you look up somewhere, find a place that we can go. Some with some grown adults and some nice, adult music or whatever. Then hey, I do my two step all night long. but but I truly think it's all about the individuals and how you view the individual, and you just have to be creative. So when you find yourself at a point, Miss Sonya, where you just sick and tired of me or whatever, tired of looking at my bald head, you know, just be creative and think of some things. Let's do this. Let's do that. Just like uh, not this weekend, but last weekend past. Me and my wife, we were home on the weekend, and she just felt so lazy and tired, and she didn't want to do anything. And we're talking about a person that's always on the go, always have to be doing something. So for her, when my wife says she's tired, and she's tired, you know. But I already had my mind set on. I was like, man, this weekend I want to get out the house. I want to do something. And it's not like we don't do anything because we go out to eat almost every weekend. But um, I kind of forced her to get up. I was like, nah, baby, we ain't gonna lay around today. I told her, I said, get up, come on, let's go shoot some pool. You know, and she got up. We got dressed and we went and shot some pool. And after we shot, now I'm gonna give you a little side story.
I won. Right.
Whatever. Yeah, okay. Now let me tell y'all this about this pool. Tell you, and once again, this is between us. This is just between us. All right. Now, I've been shooting pool. I want to say about 35 years. About 35 years I've been shooting pool. So I'm a pretty decent player, you know. And and when I say decent, I'm a bank shot connoisseur. I'm gonna make some bank shots. And, you know how you can make the white ball hit like the 3 and 4 cushions and make the ball go in, all that kind of stuff. I'm pretty good at that. So when me and my wife play, you know, a lot of the times, I shoot the ball in, and then she'll even admit I'll go for the more difficult shots, so it won't be so easy. I'll pretty much go for the bank shots or whatever. So, my wife, she's not that much of a pool player. Now she's a good sportsman. She's good at sports, but pool just not really her thing. But she's actually every time we go play, she get a little better and better. But I can kind of tell, by the time I finish my shot, let's say, and I might miss my shot or whatever, I already know because I know where all the balls are on the table in my mind. I already know where all the balls are. So when I miss my shot, I already know what shot she should make already. So I'll, tell her, baby, you should go for this right here, go for this. Her, being the stubborn and hard-headed person she is. Nah, she ain't gonna go for that shot.
Sure ain't.
She ain't gonna go for that. You know what I'm saying? She she gonna go for something that's even more difficult than a shot that I could probably
Probably.
make. I
Probably.
say this woman here, boy. She just that stubborn that she ain't gonna take that that shot that I'm trying to show her to take, which will be an easier shot. She'll take the more difficult shot. Just, I guess, I don't know, man. Just to try to show me up or prove to me. I don't know what you be doing. I don't know why
Now,
you do
people, listen.
that. There we go.
We're playing pool. It's a
Mm-hmm.
competition,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm extremely, like he said, everybody knows that if you know me, I'm competitive if I think I'm good at something. But if I'm not good at something, I'm not so competitive. But if we're playing, I want to figure stuff out myself. I don't need my husband playing for me and him. He's playing his shot and then telling me what I need to do. Let me figure this out. That's how I become a better player. Come on now, you guys know it's like we bowl. I beat them every single time we've went together. Every
Now
time.
she's a good bowler.
Okay, wait a minute though.
She's a good
But
bowler.
I don't tell him when he gets up there, okay, now stand a little bit more to the right, take 2 steps back, now take 3 steps up and then release the ball to the left a little. No, a little bit more.
Well, I would appreciate it if you did do that.
I let him do his thing and figure it out himself, but no,
No,
he want to tell me every
no.
shot I need to take, and it's irritating. So I tell him, let me do this myself, but he's gonna, I hear you, sugar, and then he's gonna tell me the next shot anyway.
Let me tell you this. She sound. Let me tell
Text
you
me and
this.
tell me how right I am.
Let me tell you this. You know how when you you know how when you raising a little infant, a little baby, and, and the baby wants their independence, and then they begin to learn how to do stuff. So you try to feed. All this time you've been feeding the baby. So now they want a little independence. They don't want you to feed them.
That's
They want to
right.
spoon themselves.
Mel does it all the time right now. That's how she's gonna learn to feed herself. We give them that independence.
But you know
We give
what?
them that independence.
Yeah, but it's sometimes we trying to feed you because we don't want you to make a mess. Alright? So this ain't the time for you to be making a mess because we don't feel like cleaning up no mess. So just let your husband feed you, son.
I'm sorry, sir, but the analogy sucks. I am not a baby. I'm a grown ass woman wanting to figure out pool
Boy, I tell
by
you.
myself. So I
I
need you
tell
guys to
you.
let him know to let me make my own shots and decide where I want to shoot. We played 5 games. I won 2 now, so I'm not too bad. And that's because, and I will admit, it's because usually the 8 ball is left in some of my balls, and he wants to make these hard 8 ball shots. And by the time, he keeps doing his, I'm gonna bank off of that, and then bring it all the way back to this end of the table. And he hasn't done it yet. I've cleared my balls, and I'm gonna take the easy shots. I'm going to because it's not my thing, but I want to win. But I want to win on my own validity. I don't want him to tell me what to do.
It's not like I'm taking the stick and then
You might as well.
I'm just
You might as
telling
well.
you.
Anyway, back to the subject at hand. I'm going to say that so far, in all honesty, my husband had excellent points. Absolutely excellent. I like what he said about not losing your identity unless somebody's controlling, or you've made that conscious decision as a couple to cut everybody else out. But you also proved a bit, and I think we both are saying in our own way
Mhm.
that you can spend too much time with somebody, but it depends on the person what too much time is.
Mhm.
Um, but I also want to say he proved my point when he brought up the fact with me dancing. You know, even though he said he has told me, I don't remember him saying find a place and we'll go. What he has said to me is find a girlfriend and find a place and go dancing, because I distinctly remember looking for dance places. I'm not from here. He is. I don't know. I could find a place and end up in the hood. He's already told me places I ain't allowed to be in because of my mouth back in the day. But, you can't go here, you can't go there, you can't go here. So he's familiar with the places. And I do remember reaching out to a few different people saying, hey, I'd like to go dancing, any spots and can we go? Because something that's different about Q and I don't go places like that by myself. I don't go out to eat by myself. I wouldn't go to a movie by myself. I wouldn't go to a club or dancing by myself. I just wouldn't. I'd have to go with a partner or a friend. Um, and I'm not saying he hasn't said find a place and we'll go, but I also know dancing isn't his thing. And I'm positive he's told me before, hey, find a place. I wanted to take dance classes too. And he wasn't interested in that. He was like, I wanted to take like some, salsa or not just regular everyday twerking classes, but actually learning different dances. But
Ain't
I
gonna be
stepped
no
away.
better angry from me.
No, but my husband throws a knee pelvic thrust dance.
Well, you
So
know, I'm a
anyway,
macaroni now.
so anyway, but it proves my point because I just said eventually forget it. Now I'm back to the point now in the house. I'll take like an hour and just dance all around here. I have way too much energy for one person to have. But it's something I just said, you know what? And there are a lot of other things I like to do. I like to go running. I like to go walking. My husband doesn't want to do that. I'm not giving that up. So I continue to do that, or I might want to go to the gym, or I might just have the move. It depends on what it is, but some things I did walk away from. And I don't mean losing my identity, but people do more than that. Some people will, he doesn't want to do that. It's not that that guy's controlling. He doesn't want to do it, and she will relent to what he wants to do. Even with TV. This is my last example. But I told you when I met him, I wasn't really a TV person. Me and my kids, I read a lot. I listened to music a lot. Um, we would have the music on and we'd lay around reading or cleaning or cooking or whatever. My husband doesn't do any of the above. He doesn't cook, he doesn't clean, and he does not like to read. So those things,
Well, don't say I don't like to read.
you told me you don't like to read. As a matter of fact, when I wanted you to read my book, you know what you said?
Listen,
I ain't reading that book, sugar, but you can read it to me. I don't really care to read.
listen, I told her specifically, because I don't need you having the audience thinking I don't like to read, period. I don't like to read magazines, novels. I've never read any novel a day in my life. Yeah, I don't read like for pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a lot of people that enjoy a good book and will read. That's not my thing. But what I do enjoy is educational stuff, and I told her that specifically.
Reading it or
So,
watching it?
well, you have
Come on
no,
now.
no. Listen, you have nowadays, of course, everything is accessible. It's just so easy now to go on the internet. But like I explained to her when I was a kid, when you didn't have the internet, I told her, even on my own as a kid, remember back in the day, guys, when you had encyclopedias and you had your big, thick Webster's dictionaries and
Did you
stuff?
say remember I read them?
No, but I told her, no, as a kid, without my parents or teacher or anybody instructing me to do so, every day before I went outside to play, and remember those days when you went outside to play, I would get the encyclopedia and just look up 5 words and learn those 5 words, learn them, learn how to spell them, and learn the definition of them, exactly what they mean, and just learn about that stuff. Just pick 5 random words, and I would do that. At least maybe 3 to 4 times a week on my own
As a
without
kid.
anybody as a kid. But I'm just saying, all I'm saying, I just need to set the record
I just
straight.
want to make sure you
Now,
know you're proving
as
my point.
no, but as an adult, like I said, it's just everything is accessible now. You know what I'm saying?
To
And
what?
As far as
Wait,
whatever, man.
no, I'm asking because the whole point was I said you don't like to read, and you're correcting me, but you're saying I don't like to read for pleasure.
Listen,
I don't want to
listen,
read no magazines. I don't want to read no books.
whatever, man.
So you're proving
You
my
can,
point.
whatever.
I'm sorry.
I ain't gonna have people thinking, oh, that damn Q don't read nothing. He ain't never read nothing. How the hell he got through life? You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God. Anyway, after my husband has proven my point,
Hey,
my
got
point
my nose
is,
running.
oh my gosh.
Oh, God.
After he has now proven my point, the thing is now I sit down because I want to spend quality time with my husband or just time with my husband. And I watch shows. I watch a lot of TV now, and I used to not watch TV like that. So you do make adjustments, and some are, you know, reluctantly you make adjustments. I'm sure Q's made some adjustments for me reluctantly, but he did it because he knows it's something I would want or something I would like. And then there are other things he's going to stand firm on. Um, he's not going to cook, y'all. That's it. He's not going to cook. So he's going to stand firm on that. And I'm okay with that because I love to cook. And then on the flip side, like I watch a lot of TV now, and I can't tell you the last time I read a book from, well, yeah, about 2 months ago. But I used to read an entire book in a day at least 3 times a week. And I haven't done that in years. So you give up some things, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. I don't want to venture too far from the question that was asked. Um, so I think because for sake of time, we made a point and said, yes, depending on the person, you can spend too much time with your significant other. So the second part of that question was, how do you let that person know you want time apart without hurting their feelings?
That's gonna be tough. And I really can't give you advice on that part because that's tough. Because no matter how you tell that person that, they're gonna be hurt. It's gonna hurt.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Um, especially when two people love each other. So, um, what I think you would have to do is once again go back to what I was saying. You're gonna have to just try to be creative and think of some things for you guys to do outside of the norm. You really are. You're gonna have to think of some things to do outside of the norm, or you yourself are gonna have to are gonna have to get some hobbies outside of the house or whatever. Um, Perfect example. I have a cousin, and she's 66 years old. She don't look it. She looks very good for her age. But she's single and she mingles. But she's retired, but she's very active. A lot of most retired people, they retire and they just want to just sit and just chill. They worked hard all those years, so they just want to relax.
Yeah.
You know, but not her. I mean, she be on the go. Me and my wife, we be tripping off of her because she take line dance classes. I mean, she travels. I mean, she's doing her
Teacher
thing.
classes.
Yeah, she teaches classes and stuff. With the line dances and all that. So she's very active. So she's just a person that refused to just sit home and do nothing. She could choose to do that, but she chooses not to. I have a 76-year-old aunt that she goes to one of these senior citizens centers, during the week. And this particular center that she go to, they don't just do the old typical, play bingo, the little board. They travel, and when I tell you they travel, they travel. They go so many different places. They do a lot. So that's a very good center that she goes to, and she looks forward to that stuff. And you can tell that it does her some good because for her to be her age, she's so lively and vibrant, and she looks forward to that stuff. So, like I said, life is what you make it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you just have to do some things. Because, like my wife said, my wife she loves to exercise. That's her thing. You know what I'm saying? Me, I ain't too much doing no exercise. I'll do it to try to stay healthy or whatever the case may be, but it's not something I enjoy doing. My wife literally enjoys it. But in between exercising and going to the store. And when I say store, I'm talking about the groceries at the store.
Same.
That's her thing, man. But
Totally.
but she has her own independent life, and whatever it is she like to do, I support it. You know what I'm saying? Wholeheartedly. So whatever makes her happy, if it makes her happy to do whatever, hey baby, do it. You know. Um, so, but you gotta be creative. You're gonna have to be creative and come up with some things to do. So if you guys are just sitting home and not doing nothing and just wasting a bunch of time, then and if your spouse or your partner isn't gonna take the initiative to, do some things, then you take the initiative. Come on, let's go do this or let's go do that. You come up with a regimen or whatever, or some places to go, something. Because I can tell you, me and my wife, like I say, we go out to eat almost every single weekend. Now, when I say that, I'm not telling people, oh, you have to go, to a 5-star, 4-star restaurant every weekend. That's not what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because just like I told you, we went to go play pool. That same day we played pool, where we went at, baby?
We went to the Salvos and got pizza.
We got pizza. How much is pizza?
Ours was
You
expensive.
know, but no, it's a nice Italian place or whatever.
Yeah.
But the pizza is so good. I mean, this pizza is good.
Little Caesars
So
was good too.
yeah, but yeah, we shot pool and we went and sat down and we went and ate pizza. So just things like that, man. Me and my wife, we'll go sit down. We'll go sit in Burger King, and have a meal and just enjoy each other's company. Wendy's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just because it's not about the place where we go. It's not about that. It's just about me and my wife spending time together and enjoying each other's company. And that's just the type of love that we have for each other. I can remember, um, when in when me and my wife, just before we got married, and even after we got married, you know, I can remember my wife telling me how, and like I said, this was before she was my wife, but I can remember her coming home to the house, you know, and just being so happy to come home. And I can remember her even telling me that, you know what I'm saying? That, she looked forward to coming home, to come home, So how many people look forward to just coming home to your spouse, to your mate, So that's something, shoot, everybody would love to hear. You know what I'm saying? I definitely enjoyed hearing it, and it made me feel good that my woman enjoyed coming home to me. And those feelings are mutual. I definitely enjoy coming home to my wife. I enjoyed it. So you have to get back into that space. You have to get to that space or to that point where you enjoy coming home to your mate. Where you really enjoy that and look forward to coming home to your mate, opposed to like a lot of other people when they get off work, man, they want to go to happy hour.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They want to go have a 2 for 1 before they go home and hang out with their coworkers and their friends because they don't look forward to going home. So and I feel sorry for those people. I do. I feel sorry for people like that because um, you know I don't think me and my wife share those sentiments. Now, not to say there's anything wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with doing that every now and then. There's absolutely nothing wrong with hanging out with your coworkers, hanging out with your friends or whatever, right after work. Or it's nothing wrong with that. But all I'm saying is it's not good if you look forward to that on a regular basis opposed to going home. That you, in your mind, you want to do everything else but go home to your mate. Yeah, that's not a good look. That's not a good thing. So I'm just happy that me and my wife are in a place where we look forward to coming home to each other and we enjoy each other's company. Once again, like I said, we ain't perfect because I'm sure sometimes we get on each other's nerves, you know, but we get over that stuff and we move on. But no matter what, it's not gonna stop my wife from loving me, and it's not gonna stop me from loving my wife. So that's pretty much the advice that I could give is that you just gotta be creative and bring some things to the table and say, hey, look, let's do this, let's do that. And like I say, just think out of the norm. And that, like I said, don't have to be something that costs a whole bunch of money or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't care if it's just going to sit by a lake, by some water, whatever. Because even that, like sometimes when me and my wife want to have deep conversations with each other, that's what we do. I'll take her by some water, uh, and we'll sit by the water and we'll talk, So just little small things like that. But, um, mhm,
So,
mhm,
most of my friends are older than me. Most of them are in their late 50s, early 60s, mid 60s, and most of them are retired. So I understand the feeling of, you're retired and your spouse or your mate is retired and you guys are stuck in the house together. Or you work from home and they work from home and you're stuck in the house together. And I kind of don't think it would hurt my feelings. Now, Q said to me, I got to get away from you. I just got to get some time away from you. That might hurt my feelings. But saying something like, hey, I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be back in an hour. Or getting something going outside of the house without your mate, because the question is, how do you spend time without them and not hurt their feelings? Just, hey, every other Tuesday, I'm going to go to lunch with my friends X, Y, and Z. We're going to have lunch together, and I'll see you when I get home. Most men shouldn't even have a problem with that.
right,
Hey, I'm going to join this gym instead of going to the gym in our community, and I'm going to go there every morning, and I'll see you when I get home. Just simple little things. There's nothing wrong with that. Even the dancing I was talking about earlier. Take a dancing class with one of your friends. Take it along. I feel as though if you need time away from your mate daily or weekly or whatever, and you're doing something, you're not doing anything bad. You're not like trying to take 8 hours away from them or 10 hours or disappearing or, every night, when it's time to go to bed, you want to go somewhere weird stuff. I don't see anything wrong with it. And I don't think that there is a reason to question how to do it. You just do it. And as Q said earlier, if your mate has a problem with that, simple things like that, um, then maybe they're controlling. And maybe that's the issue. Because I do go to the gym. Q doesn't go with me. I do go grocery shopping, and I'm usually gone a long time because I hit 3, 4 stores. He definitely isn't coming with me. If I feel like, just leaving and going for a walk or something, I'm going to do it. And he doesn't come with me. He doesn't question any of those. What the hell happened? What happened?